This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm gratified to see that more and more of us are taking care of ourselves a little bit better. So many things going on there in our world, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. And if we're not doing something about it, I got to believe that we're thinking about it and not really sure where to go to be healthier and through a holistic lens as well. We're going to talk with somebody today that helps people, but especially women who have busy schedules with jobs, kids, all of that going on. And she helps you find your wellness in many different ways. So great to have her on with us today, Dr. Fredina Weems on the program. Welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, Steve?
I'm fantastic, and I love the name of your practice, New Wonderful You. Hello. That's what we all want. I got to believe, right?
Yes. It's something we get daily because it's an ongoing process.
When we talk about wellness, and it seems like this is a 360 approach to it, because it's not just one thing. You focus on everything from emotional wellness to fitness and so much more. Can you tell us, the focus there?
Okay. Well, I call it holistic with a W, not a H. Holistic means total wholeness, which is a combination. If one's out of balance, you're all out of balance. Combination of spirit, soul, and body. Now, everybody have their own faith background, which is good. But if you don't have something you believe in, then my mother's always tell me, what are you going to stand on? So you have to have something that you rooted in, you believe, whether that helps your self-confidence. Then you got to be able to deal with internally. Do you know who you are? Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to make mistakes. But do you know who you are when it comes to your feelings, your emotions, your personality, your character, and not be intimidated by someone else around you who might know a little bit more than what you know? So then if you got that together, okay, physically, do you appreciate who you are? Everybody's built differently. We're all fearfully, wonderfully made. But you have to believe that you are beautiful in what you have, whether you have short hair, bald hair, long hair. Are you capable to accept who you are? So when you get around somebody else who have hair like you might have wanted, or whose legs are shaped like you want your legs shaped, or whose education is more what you want, are you going to be intimidated and threatened? Are you going to still simply be the best you can be? So there's and then with your professional and personal life, how are you with your interaction with others? Are you able to say, that's not right? Someone tell you need constructive criticism. Can you accept it or do you reject it? Or do you balance who you are according to who people tell you are? So, Steve, it is a huge pie coming at us. And we have to be able to dissect it and put them all in its proper places and not be afraid to make a mistake, because that's how we grow and learn.
Well, you mentioned before about judging somebody's hair or whatever they have. And it took a journey to figure this out, but these 3 words: comparison steals joy. Comparison steals joy.
That's
right?
Good. Yes, it sure does. But the biggest comparison I've learned as we grow is the comparison we have on ourselves. Oh, we can compare to others and that's okay. But then we tend to look at ourselves and pull ourselves down by our beliefs and what we should be. I should have did this. I could have done that. I didn't do this. Or what we call ourselves. Words are powerful. Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I missed that. So yes, we do try to be people pleasers. Where everybody pleasing self for self-pleasing in a healthy way.
Oh, there's so much to talk about here. Let's go there. People pleasers. So many of us are just that. We will say yes when we really meant no. Hey, can you help me move on Saturday? Yeah, sure, I'll be there. What time? Yeah. And in your mind, you're saying, I really don't want to be there. I had something else to do, but I feel I need to say yes because I want them to see value in me. Or next time I want something, I hope that they're going to say yes. Okay, I'll be there. Why? What's going on there? Why do we try to people please?
The question to ask yourself is, who are you really trying to please? And why are you trying to please? If you're doing something to get something in return, then that's not the reason to do it. If you're doing something because you feel you're obligated to do it and you know deep down inside you're not, then you're not doing it with gratitude. So we
Mm,
tend to please people because sometimes that's the way we're raised. We were taught to do that. Or we fear failure. Or we feel we have to have someone else's um, opinion of us to make us repetition. Or we trying to get something deceitfully,
mm,
manipulate somebody to do something for us. So there's all kinds of reasons out there, but the most important reason is why are you doing it? And what do you think to get out of it? Because that means whatever reason you're doing it is what's controlling you.
mm. Ooh, that's another big one right there. What's stealing your power?
Mm.
You
Yes, it
know?
is.
Mm,
And people pleasing steal your power because you're actually not in control of it.
yeah.
That person is in control. Good word, Steve.
Oh, I see. Here's the thing. I have little bits of information all over in my brain. I don't know if it's right. And then I find somebody wonderful like you that has certifications and so much more and experience to set it straight or validate or whatever it might be. How do you know if somebody or something is stealing your power?
Because you are not content with yourself. And you're doing it because they asked you to do it, not because you really want to do it. So therefore, you're working on your health is declining, but that person is not really concerned about you because they're getting what they want, so they have power. So you know if somebody's controlling you because you can never say no. And also inside of you, you don't feel right. You have no peace, no joy, no contentment because you're
Mm,
doing it to either keep their mouth shut or to keep a relationship that really, is it really a good relationship? Because when you stop doing for them, will they really be around?
mm. I heard this week, so it's fresh in my mind. I'm gonna bounce it off you. If you believe in energy and energetic vibration, love and happiness, they're up there on the scale of what you feel. And down at the bottom would be shame and sadness and things like that. I heard that somebody said to me, "Yeah, love is great, high vibration, yeah, but it's authenticity that's higher than that." And it sounds like just what you're saying, that if you are being authentic, you're being you, all that other stuff, the joy, the happiness, the peace, it all comes into play. What do you think?
Yes, it does. But then you have to make sure you remember this. You can't base your life on your feelings because they can deceive you. One moment you might be feeling this. Because think about it. If we never went to work or growing up, never went to school because how we felt, we would never graduate. We'd never get paid and we would still have bills, right?
Right?
So the bottom line is you cannot base your life on your feelings. You need to feel the feelings and deal with them, but don't base on, oh, I'm happy. Because guess what? 10 minutes from now, you might not be happy. You might get some unforeseen news that might challenge your happiness. So you need to base yourself on, regardless of what comes or what happened, I'm going to get through this. Whether I feel good about it, whether I feel love, because what love is a feeling. But that feeling's not going to pay, don't take it the wrong way. It's not going to pay your bills.
Hmm.
It's not going to get you to go where you want to go. So your self-confidence, your inner knowing who you are is what's going to get you to go where you need to go. So all those feelings of good, love up, I feel love today. Tomorrow you might not feel love. Oh, okay. I'm sad today because grief will come. No one lasts forever. Someone will pass away. Okay. So the feeling you had while they was here is one thing, but then you're gonna have to still remember the good times and still go through it. Still miss them. So we cannot, it's okay to feel because that's what we were created with, feelings and emotion. But we can't let that dictate to what am I supposed to do when it comes to what I do today is going to affect my future.
Mm. I love your positivity. Got to tell you, just got to say that right here. Um, and you're reading my mind. I'm not kidding when I say I was driving in here today and I had a thought. Now I'm going to bounce this thought off for you. um, my thought was, and I don't mean this in a negative way, it's just the way I believe we're wired. I believe we're all grieving. Now hold on there. What is grieving? grieving is loss. So yes, the passing of somebody, I got you on there. But you may still be holding on to grief. You may have lost a job like 4 years ago, and you don't even know if you're holding on to it. Maybe your parent passed years ago, but you're holding on to it. You're getting older. You're not moving like you used to. Maybe you're grieving a loss of mobility. You don't really realize it, but this stuff may be holding you back. What are your thoughts?
All that is grief. You are so right. Grief recovery means a loss. It can be a loss of finances, a loss of relationship, a loss of health. It's all that. A loss of a pet.
Yeah.
Or a loss of your youth, empty nest syndromes, grief recovery. All of it is grief recovery. We tend to focus on death because we know that's permanent. But grief recovery is not just, it's grieving. What are you grieving over? Or someone, and I don't want to say this, but people still grieving because of things that were done to them, like being raped, being robbed.
Mm,
Grief recovery.
yeah.
And now who's to say how long it takes you to overcome it? Not me. Because we're all individuals and each one of us grieve differently. So
We
I agree with you 100%, Steve. Grief is about
and
a
we don't
loss of
know
a
it.
house.
We don't realize it. It's just in us, but it's holding us back. I do believe in many different ways. And I'm sure if you really sat with it, we'd all have things that come up. And again, I'm not being negative. I'm just being real. Those things are floating out there, and you
Yeah.
need to confront them if you really
That's
want to
not
move forward.
that's not being negative. That's being reality check. And we need to understand difference between there's good comes if you take lemon and make lemonade. Now I don't like lemons because they're bitter, but look what come out of the lemonade.
Right.
So what I'm saying is no, we got to be able to deal with the good, the bad, the evil, the ugly, all of it. Because you know what? We can't balance without it. Because you and I both know, and we all know there's no 24/7 happy, 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 because you know that in a second it can change. So we have to be able to that's all a part of life.
Mm. But isn't a part of life when those changes come up, dealing with them so they don't rock your world? Like maybe they did,
Yeah.
but as life goes on, or maybe with some proper coaching, that you're able to pilot through it a little bit easier. And then the next one comes along, then the next one, and you're like, oh, well, well, 5 years ago, I'd be freaking out about that. Now I'm like, all right, we got this. We got this because you found resilience.
That's it. That's the whole thing. Yes, because that's life. Life is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It is. And you hold on to whatever you can, and sometimes you fall off, but you get back up and you dust yourself off and you keep going. Yes, but you have to learn to be able to deal. Otherwise, we would never grow up. We'll all still be babies.
Yeah, point there. And embracing the discomfort, we don't. We just like to, nothing wrong with it, but maybe there is, where you stay safe. We're wired to stay safe, from evolution. And
Well, who wants to have discomfort? I know I don't, but we know it comes.
yeah,
But you have it, but it's a part of helping you to grow.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you work with people all the time on these things and so much more. How did it start for you, Fredina? Take us
It's
back.
it's it started off for me when I was little. My parents owned a daycare. And I was considered myself the fitness instructor of all the children there, even though they're about the same age as I was. And as I watched my parents grow up, my father's side had high blood pressure and cholesterol. My mother's side had diabetes and eating disorders. And I'm the middle child. I was determined, we're not going out like this. Just because it's in the family, I have to do that. So I was determined I was going to make a difference. So I started off when in the daycare. When they come in, okay, let's run laps. Let's do push-ups. Okay, how are we going to eat? So I started off there. And I had a passion to help people. And from that, I looked and I watched my family. I said, okay, we're not going to be like this. So I was determined to learn all I need to learn and try to help so I can help my family not end up dying because of diabetes or on dialysis or high blood pressure and cholesterol. And that is how I got started.
Mm. Were you that person when you were younger that people just automatically gravitated to you when they had issues, problems, needed advice?
Yes. Uh-huh. I was the go-to person. And I still am the go-to person. I was the go-to person. It came and went. And it didn't make a difference whether it was fitness, it was health, or something somebody I showed to cry on. Because I remember a couple of times some of the children at the daycare would call me when there was a lot of physical abuse going on in their household. And I would talk them through what to do and deal with it. So yeah, I've always been the go-to person.
So, a big part of what you do is helping somebody with their health and devising a plan. Can we talk about that?
Yes, okay. Which way would you like to go? What health issue would you like to deal with first?
Let maybe go broad. Like, let's say somebody has some challenges just in general, or maybe that's how you do it. You focus on a health challenge and then help them through that.
Okay, well, I had a situation where one was dealing with a weight issue,
Okay.
but it really wasn't a weight issue. So I had to get into behavior changes. And what the problem was, as a young child, she grew up in a household where she was raped. So what she did was she ate to get out of shape so that that person wouldn't bother her anymore. So what was looking like it was an outward problem was really more of a soul care issue. We had to deal with that and help her to relate and realize not blaming herself for what happened because it wasn't her fault. As 12 years old, she was raped by her a family member. But from that day, she kept. And so once we got that down and she built back up her confidence and realized it was not me, but it happened to me, she was able to look at herself and accept herself, and the weight came off.
Wow.
So basically, you're looking at one thing, but most of the time, it's something deep inside within that causes people to do what they do. And that was a way of how she protected herself.
Is it, is the most of the thing, like that example, and thank you for sharing that. That's an eye opener. Um, is most of what's challenging us going back to our past childhood?
No,
No?
no.
Okay.
Mm-mm. It could be you. You don't like yourself because you feel as though society on it's different now norms on what is considered beautiful and what's not. Or maybe it was a relationship that was a bad relationship you was in. And you start thinking negative about yourself because that person physically, I'm sorry, verbally abused you. There's a difference between verbal abuse to me. I always say it's worse than physical abuse. You can't see those scars from a verbal abuse, but you can see the physical. So it might be some from a verbal abuse you had growing up in a childhood or as an adult or when you start working. So it depends on the person and their environment, Steve.
Mm. This seems to be like you are the one who uncovers this stuff. Somebody comes to you, you hear their story, you kind of get a feel for it, and now you use whatever modality you have,
Mm-hmm.
many different
Mm-hmm.
ones, and training and experience
Mm-hmm.
to meet them where they are. Is that kind of how it
Mm-hmm.
works?
That's how kind of how it works. They might be coming thinking they need life coaching and it's really is as mental health, or they might be thinking they might need a fitness was really behavior. So it just I just you just start and I'll just let you talk and I'll ask you questions. And every time we come, I get deeper and deeper because I realize you got to go in to get what's going on in order to resolve issue. Or guess what? They'll just keep going back over that behavior over and over again. So it's a behavior pattern.
But it's not therapy, right?
No, it's not. That's entirely different. We're trying to focus on where you are now. Therapy is going to take you all the way. That's more like counseling, which I do have that, but no, that's like counseling. They're trying to take you all the way back to find out what it is. We're trying to go from where you are now. So when you move forward, you don't go into that, bringing that into the future. So yes, you're right. You're 100% right, Steve. That is not therapy. It's coaching. And it's
Mm.
not counseling, it's coaching.
So many times I would meet with a therapist and we'd go over the same stuff over and over again. And in my
Hmm.
mind, it could be on a phone or virtual. I'm thinking, can we just like move past that now?
Yeah,
Like,
because that's
yeah.
entirely different ball game.
Mm.
And I'm
Refreshing.
not saying that does not work
Sure.
because it does work for what is there, but coaching is different. Coaching is basically I'm here. I want you to make your own decisions. I'm not going to give you decisions. I'm going to walk with you. But I've learned a long time ago especially from past experience in my own personal life, don't tell them what to do. Because if it don't work out, they're going to come back and blame you. So you want them to now I'm there to collaborate with you, but you need to make your own decisions to own up to it.
Can you tell us about your background? Health and fitness, very big in your world, right?
Mhm. Yes. And it's because, like I said, of how I grew up, how I was raised. And when I begin to look around and see what's needed, I begin to realize that basically it's more about where you are in this moment in life. So when I got out there, I said, okay, I first started off as a personal trainer. I got the certification. Okay, then I went to college, got a bachelor's degree, and got my minors in health and fitness. I said, no, it's more to it than personal training and fitness. It's more to it. So then I went back to school and I got counseling. I got spiritual uh, degrees, and I got master in divinities and coaching. I said, no, it's more to that. So then I went through Alpha and NCFM to get certifications as far as with the behavior specialist. But then I said, no, it's more to that. And that's when I decided to go get my doctorate. And with that, it came with the fitness, the coaching, the mental health awareness, the Pilates, the Tai Chi. I got the whole picture. And I said, oh, and nutrition. I said, okay, I'm equipped now.
Mm. Isn't that
Because
beautiful how that
now
works?
I can help the whole person and not just a piece. Because when I with the clinic for years in their wellness department, and we had it was called Lifestyle 180, and it's like a 180-degree turn. And I began to realize that these same people kept coming back. What's with that? Because we didn't find the problem.
Mm.
You can put them on a diet. You can now I don't believe in diets. You can make them good, put them on a nutrition plan. You can exercise them, but they left there. And when they left there, it's like they left the healthcare at there, and they went back into their old lives. So what was the problem? So that's when I said, okay, we got to balance here. It's got to be holistic, W, not holistic.
Now I
It's
see
got to
that.
be a balance.
Now that I see. And I do believe too, balance is everything. It's
Gotta
like your
be.
car and one of the tires is off. What do?
Mhm.
You get it rebalanced and now your car rides well. So let's say sleep, nutrition, fitness, good relationships. If those are your four tires, just pick those. And let's say you're not
Stress.
sleeping well. Yeah.
Oh, now you can pick up weight by not sleeping well, or you can maintain weight by not sleeping well. That's something I had to go through because of my schedule. When you have your own business all over the place, I'm like, what's up with this? Why am I wouldn't get enough sleep. So you have to balance. You got to, you know what? You have to enjoy life too.
Mm.
You've got to eat, exercise, stress management, communicate, sleep, and enjoy life.
Mm.
And you have to be able to be a blessing to others because it's not all about you, because no man's an island. So it's all of the above.
Now I get the word whole and holistic.
Mhm.
How do we connect with you? If somebody, Fredina, has a question, they want learn a little bit more about how this all works. How do they do that?
Well, we have a website. You can pull us up, New One for You at LLC.com. You can also reach me at Fredina at New One for You LLC.com. Or we have a phone. Or you can always find me on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, and we have our own Podbeam show. It comes every day throughout the day called New One for You off of Podbeam. But you can find us on Spotify too.
Beautiful. Fredina, and by the way, for your email, Fredina. Just want everybody to know
Uh-huh.
the spelling. Thank you for being
Thank
here
you.
today. You're very refreshing, super grounded, super positive, and so much more to talk about. Even one aspect of balance, we could, whether it's nutrition, sleep, whatever, we do a whole podcast there. And looking forward. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.